and welcome to Finextra. I'm Emily Hall at Sibos 2015 and I'm here with Kevin Brown of KPMG. Thank you very much for joining me. So what are your initial impressions of the hot topics of Sibos?
Emily, it's been quite an exciting Sibos this year. There's certainly a real buzz around the halls, and for me there have been sort of three key topic areas that I've been picking up on: real-time payments, but also around that real-time payments there's a degree of excitement and thought about what the opportunities might bring. But alongside that, there's still a very, very strong theme around resilience and know your customer and the risk issues and the risk agendas for the banks. And I think the third topic, which I've certainly heard more discussion about in the second and third day of Sibos, has been around digital identity and some of the challenges around how that might emerge going forward.
You've moderated 2 sessions on real-time payments. From those sessions, what were the key areas of focus that you found?
It's been quite an interesting journey on the real-time payments. I was reflecting on the second session yesterday. If you go back sort of 3 years to previous Sibos, we seem to have gone on a journey. So 3 years ago, the discussion at Sibos was, what's this story around real-time payments? And then last year, it was, we understand this real-time payments, but what's the business case? And this year, the agenda is very much, we understand real-time payments. In fact, actually, we've got to do real-time payments. But the question is how and how quickly. So what I saw in the sessions were a number of different factors. And they were quite sort of geographically split. And I think recognising that the UK's had faster payments for some 8 years. So there's plenty of learnings from the UK in terms of what's happened in terms of behaviour. But then you've got the Australians who are well advanced with probably taking it to the next level in terms of standards and also provision of services, particularly with the overlay services. And then you go to the US and Europe, and particularly coming out of the sessions was the different approaches and the challenges. And I think for the US, I think many of the US banks were saying clearly we need to move forward on real-time payments. The question is, how do we do it? How quickly do we move? And there's a lot of talk about the business case. So there's certainly reflections on last year, but the business case is more around sort of what's the opportunities to protect my franchise, to grow my business, to give my customers a better proposition, and also how do I develop my own systems to make things a lot easier. Alongside that, you've got the European experience, and I think Europe's at a very interesting point at the moment, and it will be interesting to see what happens over the next probably 2 or 3 months. There's clearly a number of nationalities that want to move quicker to implement a real-time payment system, but there's a number of initiatives underway with the EBA, Steta producing their potential solution. The Dutch community are moving ahead, and I think the challenge for Europe is how to ensure that the different nationalities and the different solutions can move ahead quickly, but you still end up with the interoperability across Europe that gives the benefits of SEPA that's come from the SEPA SCT. But equally, I think Europe has got an advantage because the banks are already on the ISO 20022 standard. So a lot of the back office work that they would have needed to do is there with SEPA already. So this is about how do they design and implement that instant payment system. But again, just coming back to the business case, I think we've had a number of really exciting discussions about where the opportunities are. And I think the conclusion is that there's clearly some really interesting propositions around how data is used, how additional value services are delivered to customers, both in a merchant to personal customer and a personal customer environment. And I think the innovative thinking around those solutions is going to be where the potential opportunities for revenue growth, but also providing some real good customer propositions going forward. The last thing then is you go back to where the banks are. Very, very good, strong focus on the development of those customer propositions, which is exactly where I would expect them to be. But also I think a very, very good focus on how they might simplify their infrastructure. So thinking about how the introduction of real time and potentially in 5 or 10 years' time, real time will be the only show in town. How that will work and how that works with their systems. Does it give them an opportunity to take cost out, to simplify their back office? And clearly that's one of the areas where I've spent a lot of time talking to banks and understanding what that means. I think a very, very final thought, and a term that came up a couple of times in the sessions that I was moderating is, this is not just about real-time payments, it's about real-time e-commerce. And that real-time e-commerce and that carrying the data and the development of those solutions is the thing that's really going to be exciting going forward. And I think when we come back next year, we'll find that we'll see a whole range of very, very interesting and challenging solutions coming forward.
Kevin, thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.